All right. All right. All set up. Glad to be here. Glad. Thank you, Creator, for this opportunity again. Try to be a light while I'm in this reality. Brethren, thank you for joining me. Nazreen, Elijah, brethren, here we are again. We got one more opportunity to try to make an entry in our Akashic records, where you, from what I understand, it's like the record of everything, you know, that concerning you, your thoughts and your actions. And I don't know, I could be wrong, but we got a opportunity to take from the world, to take from our reality, and to dedicate it to spiritual pursuits, to learn about the Creator, to feed our spirit, to um, glorify the Creator by taking a little time out and try to just learn what He may have, what I trust He will uh, give me to share with you, brethren. I want to thank you, Creator, for this opportunity. I pray for the message when it goes out, that you will anoint it, that you'll tell me things to say, and that it might encourage somebody to continue in the faith and to bear fruit and to endure, be patient, and to prosper, to make us a servant to our brethren, Creator. The video, this channel is dedicated to you, to try to glorify you and not ourselves, but to show our thankfulness for you giving us ears to hear this word and giving us the ability to walk in this light as to the best of our ability. So will you go with me and give me things to say and help me to bless my brethren with the things that come out of my mouth? I really would appreciate if you would use me to spread your word, spread your light, Creator, EOE, in your name. All right, Fritz, brother. Good to see y'all, man. You know, I know how it is in this reality, man. It seems like every day you don't feel like being spiritual. You know, I mean, every day ain't always 100%, you know, motivation. Always, you know, I mean, Creator and learning and thinking. And some days, I mean, you just don't feel like, I mean, if you're like, if, you know, speaking for myself, and I imagine other brethren who are sometimes feel the same way. And, but it don't never last long for me. And if I can share anything in case you get those type of blues, you know, from time to time, and it just seemed like everything is just standing still. And one of the things that I have seen, one of the things that I have found, it's like it don't last long, man. It ain't long before the angel will give you something in your mind, and it'll take you away, in the sense that you'll forget that, you know, how you might have been feeling, you know, like you're stagnating and standing still. And it's like it never fails. At some point, if you just stay and be patient, Creator will give you something to think about. It'll bless your soul, and then it kind of like you get on a roll. You go from thinking about one thing to another thing, and you get understanding. And to me, from what I've seen in my spiritual walk, that's how the Creator do business. Come to your mind. He feeds your mind, feeds your head day by day. And the word is like his, you know, I remember when I first came into contact with the OAHSPE, I remember saying to myself, man, you know, I'm gonna eat this up, and then I'm gonna learn everything, I'm gonna know everything, and then what I'm gonna do, you know. Yeah, really, for real, you know. Crazy the way some the things that you can think, you know. But The creator, man, he just keep you going day by day by day by day. You know, the way my mind works is if I got to be in this reality, I'm gonna do something. I ain't gonna let it. I'm gonna make it count one way or another. You know, and this is my way of making my reality count. And I'm just a brother. I'm just a brother, man, who's just trying to build my little mountain and just trying to uh, be about the will of the creator, which is to be about your brethren and try to show them that you got faith, and so that your brethren, that they will continue in faith, and so that we might learn to attain to the voice of the creator, so that we can eventually we can rise in glory and peace, love, righteousness, all that the whole world seeks after. That's what it's all about. But in a society like this, it's kind of hard to work with things that, the unseen things, of reality. It's not easy. You know, I mean, when you're in a situation like where, especially our reality, talking about the Western Hemisphere, the American way of life, Western style of life, where everything is you know everything is instant, you know paid every week, fast food, fast entertainment, fast money. you know and I know that we as faithists, we outnumbered like crazy. I mean, the OAHSPE tell us that the creator, he talks about how we was going to be scattered, and we were going to be, the Uzians were going to be those who prosper in the world. And it's, it doesn't, we would look at, you look at what's going on, sometimes you can feel like you're missing out, but that shouldn't be for, that should be maybe a fleeting thought. And you're looking at people who seem to, they don't know anything about light or creator or spirituality, and everything's just fine with them. They go about without a care in the world. But that's the OAHSPE calls, that type of situation. Oh shoot, I forgot. The word I'm looking for. It goes along with being willingly ignorant. See, what all I'm just trying to say is that we live in a reality where people don't know what it's all about, and don't really care. The Bible talks about the Uzians, and these are people who they really are just all about the things that you can see, hear, feel, and the carnality of life, and not much, they don't give much thought to the unseen, the spiritual side of reality. And not to try to look down on them, but they're that's, it just is what it is. And people who do not really look at the big picture with, like faithists do. Faithists, brethren who the creator is raising up right now to bring the light and the foundation of the kingdom of God to the world. And so again, I talk a lot about what's coming up on us with November 19th, and how Pluto is going to go into Aquarius. And the world, when I try to study and research and look at it, the world, the reason why they gotta really, hold on a second, why they really are gonna miss what the creator is gonna do, because they keep looking at themselves. They talk about Pluto going into Aquarius. Even those who study this type of thing, they just they just keep look, well, what's in it for me? How's my sign going to be affected? Should I play the lottery? Should I play the stocks? Should I sell? Should I buy? And that's what people want to know. That's all they want to know, man. And that's how people are going to miss the creator. Gonna miss the creator. You just you only want to know about yourself. You only want to know about yourself, man. And I came across something I was reading in the OAHSPE. I was looking at something, and I think it was something about, it had something to do with the rich man. And the creator, he condemns him if he gives out of his pittance, I mean, he has a lot, but he only gives a little, when he's dealing with somebody who's poor. And, you're not fooling the creator. And the creator, he says that, these people who only really, you just can't stop thinking about yourself. You can only think of yourself, man. And the creator says he knows what's in your heart, what's in your mind. Let me see. Elijah, he's got something. He says, right, Malachi and the brothers talk about what's going down from the OAHSPE perspective last night. I can see it going along with this reading. Oh, okay. Did they? I haven't. I did hear a little bit of it, but I didn't get to hear all of it. I know he was talking about governments and real good video on what a government should be and how our government is. It's not for you. It ain't for you, at least American. And that's one reason. It's like, it's like, that's why it's an amazing thing to me how we're in this period of time, the confluence of events, the conflagration of events, man. I don't know. For me, that's what really keep me going, man. The confluence of events, the decline of American way of life, the decline of the government and its ability to serve the people, the decline of geopolitical relations between the United States and other brother nations of the world. I can see these things. I look at them and it helps encourage me to don't even give the smallest thought to falling away, going back in the world, just sitting around doing nothing, not redeeming the time. Telling you, brother, it's got to be the same for you, man. When you just going about your daily business, it's important to see the creator every day, see him in any little way that you can, because we only going to pass this way just one time. We only going to go through the flesh one time, brethren. We only going to go through the flesh one time, the OAHSPE says, and then we're going to go into the spirit, and that's forever. And to go back to what I was saying about the rich man, and one thing that I was studying that stuck out to me is the creator said that the people talked about people like that rich man who give, like, they give out of their abundance. You know what I mean? It's like they give, like, they don't give what they could, is what the creator was condemning. He said that when they pass over, when they go into the first resurrection, their bondage will be 100-fold harder. 100-fold harder. It goes along with that verse, and I still haven't committed it to memory. That verse I always love to show y'all. Matter of fact, let me bring it up, because I got to commit this to memory too. I got to try to commit this to memory, because I talk about it all the time, man. It's a famous verse. It's a famous verse, man, in our nation. The faith is. It's a famous verse, man. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I just can't stop thinking about this. Oh boy, let me see. Let me stretch the screen a little bit. I got to dance with the screen a little bit here. So Let me bring up that verse. I'm not telling you because I want you to find it with me. I want to bring it out at the same time that I have it on the screen. So you can tell by what I'm typing in the verse that I'm looking for. I mean, this is just one of those things that people don't think about in our reality. Faith is this type of thing that only faithists will think about. Now, here it is right here. I mean, this is one of those things that I know that you read, and the OAHSPE, it really hits you with some of the things it says. It hits you hard, man. And this is one of those verses. And, you know, I don't know if you're like me. I'm always thinking, you know, in the world, don't the world plan? Brethren, don't they plan? Do not the world plan from the time? I mean, you got brethren from 20 years old and up, and they got their whole life planned out. The world make plans for something that might not come to pass until 40, 50 years later. And they work that plan. Don't you know the world works that plan? See? They work that plan, man, you know? See, we doing the same thing. You fake this? See? That's why when you see somebody get on top after a life of them working their plan, you can't blame, hey, man, don't blame them. Don't blame them. They worked for it. Why are you upset? Why are you jealous of them? Did you work for it? They worked for it, man. You know, and I always think about athletics, but it's the same in any profession. You know, they prosper in the world. Some get to the mountaintop. So why are you jealous, man? You know, they worked for it, and the Creator, He blessed them. Same with faithists. Day in and day out, they considering the Creator. How they might minister the light to other brethren, what they might do to encourage a brother, to pray for a brother, to read so that you might have something you can share, to study. There's a lot of things that we can do to redeem the time. If you're going to be alive, you might as well redeem it, right? That's the way I look at it. Hey, man, if I got to wake up tomorrow, if I got to be here on the earth, if I got to be here, I'm a redeem it, because I got to be here anyway. That's the way I look at it. It just so happens that the Creator has blessed me tremendously with giving me my life's love, being able to hear, attain to His voice. Now here's that verse right here. This applies to the whole world, you know. And if I went back up, it would talk about the judge. See, in verse 5 here, I always think, see, I'm a Libra, the scales, you know what I mean? They always overthinking, you know, Libra, they be always overthinking, weighing things, you know, like Nazarene, I see Faith has got that sign of the scales there, you know, Libra, they always overthinking. I'm always considering, you know, where am I headed? I would like to know. I would like to work in my best interest if possible. You know, I don't want to just sit around and just let my opportunity pass me by. I just think that's close to insanity. And so if you telling me and the Creator is telling you what you do now is what will define my eternity. Hey man, it's a no-brainer for me. I imagine faithists are the same way, because you got that bittersweet blessing in you. I call it bittersweet because It's sweet because you know the end of yourself, but it's bitter when we going through our reality. And we look at the world, and the world is rejoicing, and it's just like that scripture that say in the Bible, and the world shall rejoice and you shall lament. But matter of fact, I'm gonna find that too. But here's this verse that I was talking about. It says, "Hear then the judgment of your God." You see how serious this? I mean, come on, man. I mean, you know what I mean. No matter how many times you read this, look at what he's saying. Look at what the Creator is saying. See, and the whole world want to know about this, but don't care. The whole world want to know about this, but do not care. I don't want to sound blunt, man. Hear then the judgment of your Creator, for your God, for it is that which you shall put. Look at that, put upon yourself after your entrance into the spirit world. Now, I love it. I just love. I mean, it's not all dire when you read the practical guidebook. It's not all bad news and dire warnings and to make you afraid and fearful. And I hope I don't get that impression on my channel. But I'm trying to let you know the Creator ain't a fool, man. He ain't no fool. If anyone look at this video and you're new, I want to tell you the Creator ain't no fool. You see? He let you have free will. We all got free will, and we don't realize the magnitude of that. See, we got an opportunity. We faithists, they know that they making up their own beauty by their desire to self-serve, to serve, to be a servant in the kingdom of the Creator. That's the bottom line. Hear then the judgment of your God, for it is that which you shall put upon yourself. See, your judgment is what you put upon you. So why not make it in your favor? All you got to do is change your mind. That's all you got to do, man. Did you know that? To make yourself beautiful, that paradar, remember we read it the other day? That beautiful woman, man. Hear then the judgment of your God, for it is that which ye shall put upon yourself after your entrance into the spirit world. See, he says, which is that you shall be bound in heaven till you accomplish what you might have done, but failed to do. And then the operative verse right here, and this is the penalty for neglecting on earth. That's where we are right now, neglecting on earth. See, what is our responsibility? To fulfill the light that was given to you. See, each of you brethren, and I want to say it again. Each one of you brethren got a gift, man. That's why I like to try to talk about astrology and the vibration we're under, so I can try to help you to see yourself. Not saying that you need my help, but I'm trying to act like I can say something and you might agree with it, or it might open up a understanding that is part of your soul that you didn't realize before. And now you can give that to people. See, you can give you to people. That's serving your brethren. That's the will of the Creator right there. He give you the template: peace, love, righteousness, wisdom. That's the template. And then he say, okay, however you want to flavor it when you dealing with my other children. That's the world. Go ahead and do it. That's how you serving. Don't think like you gotta, show up downtown, you always at the soup kitchen, cleaning the bathrooms and you know, without fanfare. That the creator's not talking about that. Hi, Mahalia, sister. All right. All right. Good to see you. Thanks for checking in, sis. So we got an opportunity, man. I'm sorry I talk about it all the time. I just can't get over it. My incense went out there. So as often as I have this channel, as often as the creator let me have this channel, that's one of the things I'm always talk about, man. Is we got an opportunity. You used to look at the world is they just are, they blowing it. You blowing it, man. You blowing it because you hung up on other people and what they did to you. You can't let it go, man. You let it affect you to the detriment of your own spirit. That's the weakness that people have. They like payback. They like get back. It's a very strong aphrodisiac to the soul to get revenge. And you wasting time, brother. You wasting time, man. Real quick, it says that this is the penalty for neglecting on earth to fulfill the light that was given to you. You shall in heaven. What's the name of this book? So I can commit it to memory. Okay, Judgment. You shall in heaven accomplish without money. See, your body is equivalent to the money, is what it's saying here, if I'm not mistaken. It says what you could have done with money. When you were born again into the spirit, you shall accomplish without money, meaning it's going to be harder. See, that's what I read last night about the rich man. The creator said you wanted to bless yourself in this reality and nobody else. You're going to have to learn that lesson to learn to bless your brethren. And it's going to be harder for you. Creator said, I'm going to make it 100 times harder on you, or it's going to be 100-fold harder. See, to redeem the time, to learn how to just change your mind, man, towards your brother. Change your mind. It said, and the difference it requires to do a thing without means as compared to what might be done by one with means, it is the extra bondage and duration that shall be upon your heart and soul. See? And then it goes on further. I'm not going to read it. You can read it if you want to, And this is just another killer chapter, man. I wanted to find that verse where it talks about our situation in the Bible. So you can just read that real quick. Judgment, chapter 31. Man, this is good. Everything. This is a book that's hard to put down, man. This is a book that's hard to put down, man. I mean, for me, oh man, Now here's that verse in the Bible where it says, the world shall rejoice and ye shall weep and lament. King James Version. See, this is our situation. See, Creator, he tell us what our situation is. He even used the Bible to tell us what our situation is. See, we in this situation right now. I'm not saying it's true for everybody. He says, truly, truly, I say unto you that ye shall weep and lament, and the world shall rejoice. And ye shall be sorrowful, but your sorrow shall be turned to joy. See? Here's a part of the Bible, I think that it harmonizes with the OAHSPE. Brother Omi, and if you're in the room, man, I can't join you for green tea today or for cinnamon tea because I got green tea. So if you're in the room. How many times can you use a tea bag anyway? What? 3 times? Ah, boy, that tastes good. Green tea, you know. I went to see the doctor. I said, well, what's the best tea for your kidneys? He said, well, I don't know. I said, man, you know, I'd asked him something like, I'd found something. Well, doctors, they surprise me. They're not as, well, I hate to say, I don't want to sound negative, but they're not what I thought they were. I think that they just take the money. A lot of them, I hate to sound negative, but they're not as far along as I thought they were, man. They're not. They are not. See, that's one thing about the KOSMAN era. That's one thing about Pluto going into Aquarius, man. You brethren ought to be rooting for it when you ought to be rooting for it. Man, you ought to be rooting for it. Your hopes ought to be high. A time when the creator, he moves on the world and elevating their knowledge is when the spiritual and the corporeal, they harmonize with one another. Our understanding increases. And I'm talking about faithist. From what I could see, the creator, it's like the creator says, okay, to the world, if you don't want me, I ain't going to force myself on you. But what I'm going to do is come to my children. And they're going to be making chairs dance and sing. Chairs. Y'all remember? Remember that? What it said in Jehovah's Kingdom? Chairs, inanimate objects, making them walk and dance. See, that's the power of the world, what? And you got to conclude that when we come into that situation, that there will be a great blessing in the land. An ability to heal, an ability to bless. I could be wrong, you know. Let me show y'all something real quick, man, before I get to the reading of the word. Now, the name of the video is called Attributes of KOSMAN. And I sat down last night and I just asked the creator, I'd really like to bless my brethren, you know. I'd really like to talk about how it's going to be, you know, how brethren are going to, their faith, their patience it's going to pay off for them, you know. And so I just simply asked, I like to talk about things where I could talk about how and I don't mean to use such a vulgar term like being paid off, because the creator, he give us a desire. Once we get overstanding, we begin to get it. We want to share it, man, you know, share it with brethren. We want to tell them something good. That's what it is right there. It's a payoff, man, you know. I mean, it's like we walk around. I seem to see that faith is walking around being a blessing to the world, making the world want to chase them now. But the problem is you didn't want to work for it. You know, you didn't want to take time out. You know, you couldn't attain to the voice of the creator. You couldn't love the word. You couldn't understand it, you know. Now that's a terrible thing. But the creator, he seems to say ultimately he's going to get you one way or the other. But do you want to take the long road or do you want to take the short road? You know. Now, I wanted to show y'all something real quick, man. You know, have y'all heard a lot about the basis of Vidi? That book in OAHSPE? It's called The Basis of Vidi, man. Let me stretch my screen a little bit. And I was sharing a little bit in the rooms from the basis of VD, man, you know. It's called the basis of VD. And I was struck because it talks about like some amazing things, man, you know. Are y'all real familiar with this? Check it out. The basis of VD, right? And did it give you these gods and the vibration that they are under, in a sense? Now check it out. Kanzia's Hater. Kanzia's Hater. Check it out, man. Kanzia's Hater. Evidently, that's the god of unbelief. See? Up top here. It's talking about good gods. Now, I thought it was going to say, like, this is a list of the different gods and what they control, but it doesn't say that. But check it out anyway. Now, here's the god Nisai, right? Nisai. Now, he's over faith and belief. And the creator says that's a created place. Faith and belief. That's a created place. Look at that. In the unseen heavens. In the unseen heavens. Look at that. It's a place which nurtures man's soul. And it was created by Ahura Mazda. Man, I'm telling you, you know, we in a situation where everybody needs nurturing. Creator said he got a place for that, and the God who's over that is Nisai. See, now what you can do, you can go all through the OAHSPE and do a word study on Nisai. See how he operates. Then can't use Hada. Look at this, unbelief. Unbelief, a place in the, it's a place, unbelief is a place in the unseen heavens. Look at that. It nurtures unbelief in mortals. Created by Anne Romanius. Yatu, to sin against Ahura Mazda or against one's own being. So evidently, this is a God that influenced you to sin against. Now, this is kind of confusing. Okay, I think I get it. It means it's a temptation to sin against Ahura Mazda, that's the creator, if I'm not mistaken, or against one's own being. Yatu. See? Now, if we were to go and do a word study on Yatu, we could see more about how he operates. Okay. Hapta Hindu, Yima, a self-assumed lord of the earth, a spirit with many provinces in atmosphere. He sent emissaries, which are spirits, to temples and oracles of India for over 1,000 years, and he compelled mortals to worship him. Okay. Devious, all evil men in general, devious. But a real and holy acting devia is a sodomite. A sodomite. Up until I seen this, I didn't even know Sodom and Gomorrah is in the Bible. And it calls it an evil place, letting you know that the Creator is not with lesbian, gay, transgender, bisexual, queer agenda. The Creator is not with, he's not for that, man. When you read the account of Sodom and Gomorrah and the OAHSPE, the Creator said he was going to destroy it, and he did. Or the God that was over it, who was talking with Abraham, he said he was going to destroy it, man, because it was an evil place. So now you know, when you look at the world, and the world is getting really close to making that sort of agenda mainstream, where it's all love. Love in any form is good. And it's so palpable that brethren who, I would imagine that even brethren who are tainted into the voice of the Creator can be affected by accepting that type of agenda. But the OAHSPE is saying that that's an evil influence. Devious, all evil. Drux, negus, literally means rotting. Also, that decomposition of the flesh, which becomes food for insects and vermins. So now I'm pointing this out because it talks about places in the heavens. These are like for people who are under these vibrations. There's a place in the heavens for unbelief. Look at that. And it's nurtured in you. It nurtures unbelief in mortals. And it's a place. Now, the Creator is saying we get born in the spirit, and we are under unbelief. And there's a place that nurtures that. It could take hundreds of thousands of years. Because look at that belief is being nurtured, encouraged. Devious, all evil men in general. Creosha, angels sent by the Creator. Drux and Devia are sinful men. Tishra, an angel from the still heavens who ruled the flocks of mortals. He was said to reside on Sirius, and a star later named after him. Sitar Aguara, who was also said to have dwelt on the star. Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to just show these. It's like the Creator, he covers everything our mind can conceive, to think, to ask. You know, a place in the spiritual where unbelief is nurtured. So if you want to read this, I can't read it all, but I just thought it was interesting that these are places in the spiritual where we don't tend to think about. But the Creator is he covers that too. Okay, so now let me do something real quick here. Let me take one of these gods and do a quick word study. Let's see if this one will come up. The God of the one of unbelief. Let's see what the OAHSPE, what it will say about this God right here. if it says anything. He could be just mentioned once, and that's it. But let's see what the Creator says about a God like this. God of unbelief, man. You know, let's see if there's more said about him than just this one mention. Okay, so I think it's just this one mention. It says this God here is unbelief, and it's a place in the unseen heavens, and it nurtures unbelief in mortals. It was created by Anne Romanius. Okay, Anne Romanius is the creator. The name of the place is Contheus Haida. So Anne Romanius, the evil creator, created a place that nurtures unbelief. Let's see if we can find another God to look at so that we can let's look at Davius, see what it says. Davius, see what that means. See what it says. I've seen that name a few times, so this ought to be interesting. Now, what does this name mean? How does the creator use it? Davius. Okay. Behold, I sent my fiery ship, prophesying that in less than 200 years I would come in the dawn of Dan. But you did not obey. You were defiant before me. Then I swore an oath against the whole world. You shall know my power. Then I came down out of my holy high heaven, and I have already come. Now it's the dawn of Dan. I send my trumpeters first. After them come my lashers and enchainers. Lashers, those who use the whip, and chainers are those who bind others using chains and shackles. Those who fetter are manacle. Dawn of Danha. Creator sends trumpeters first. After them come my lashers and enchainers, whose captain is Davius, whose God is Andromaeus. I will have mine, and I will cast into everlasting torments, droogs and druges by the thousands and tens of thousands. So here we have Davius and its definition of evil men. And the creator is talking about what takes place at the dawn of Dan. Like for us, we just came into a dawn of Dan, 1849. The creator is saying after that come his lashers and chainers. Now this sounds like the beast kingdom, whose captain is Davius, evil in general, whose God is Andromaeus, God of all evil. So Davius basically is the definition of evil men, and they come from Anra Manius. Okay, so what I could do now is it's close enough that I can just go ahead and get into the reading of the word. Now, what I'm going to do with the reading of the word is I want to talk about the attributes of the KOSMAN era. Here's my mom's food ministry. Here's Brother Omian's room. If anyone is new and you'd like to find a place on Facebook to have fellowship, here's one. Just send a brother an invite. Here's two, another room the brother has. So if you're new to this video, this is a place where you can come, you can have fellowship. Brother sharing from the OAHSPE, where you're learning. And now my room, where I just do the same thing as the other brothers' rooms. Okay, let's see. It says I lost connection. I don't think that's right. So what I want to do is the name of the video is the attributes of the cosmic era, and it's just something, a question I came up with last night. I wanted the creator to give me something where I could talk about things that may bless brethren, bless their soul. And it's really the time of the Thetis, man. I mean, age of Aquarius. I don't know if it's age of Aquarius. I'm calling it that because Aquarius represents water for the world. See, till now, it hasn't been water for the world. The system we live in is geared towards the few. The few. Ever since the man learned to adopt a system of government called capitalism, it's always been to take advantage of those who are less fortunate. Capitalism, capitalizing. And it just so happens we're in a time now that's got to stop. It's got to come to an end. Now, I was saying earlier that we live in a reality where people focus on themselves. Every prophecy, every proclamation that is spiritual, that speaks of a new time, a new age, so on and so forth. People always take it, from what I have seen, and they immediately equate it with, not on a macro level, but a micro level, how good it's going to be for this sign, that sign. You're going to be rich this year. You're going to fall in love this year. And that's the whole world. They appeal people who act like they know. I find that they appeal to people's vainglory. You're going to get married this year. You're going to be rich. You're going to find a job. It's going to pay you a whole lot of money. And people can take advantage of like that. But when you look at what the new period that we're coming into, that the creator has a macro approach. It's going to sweep the world, the globe. Cosmic era. It's already starting in the children. It's the children who are proclaiming it. So here's my mom's food ministry, where I seek to target disabled, elderly, infants. Man, I'm telling you, if I find out that you're trying to get down with these people, I'm with you. I am with you. You're doing a good work, man. You're doing a good work. So there's my room. Now, I have some verses that we could look at when you're talking about the cosmic era. We all ought to be looking forward to that. I mean, we really ought to be looking forward to what the cosmic era has to offer, because it's a time of, it's a totally, when Pluto goes into Aquarius, it has a history of revolutions. Let me show you real quick. See, when Pluto goes into Aquarius, does it bring revolution? Okay, now here it says, according to astrological interpretations, when Pluto enters Aquarius, it is often associated with a period of potential revolution. See? Now, Pluto, which is intensity, when it goes into Aquarius, is going to empower innovation, collective action. That's power to the people. Radical change, signifying a time of significant societal shifts and upheaval in power structures, That's Capricorn, see? When Pluto transits through it. See, right now, Pluto's getting ready to leave Capricorn. That's why I believe we're looking at the destruction of the financial system one way or the other, at least the Western. Pluto, when it goes into Aquarius, causes upheaval. Systems of money, corporations, power and authority. These things are going to be looking at an upheaval, a shift, radical change. Water for the world. Aquarius is the sign of the water bearer. We've been in a Capricornian system. You know, the goat at the top of the mountain, rare air, nobody else there. Same way in capitalism. Not everybody can earn 6-7 figure checks. They fellowship with themselves. They go to their house parties. See, it's an elitist system. And the creator is basically saying, that's it. Now I'm going to hand power to the people through my children. That's what the KOSMAN era is. It may seem like it's not moving, but it is. So what I can do is go to my room and just share some things talking about the KOSMAN era. Now, basically all I did was I would just ask AI questions, artificial intelligence. That's another proof of the power when Pluto goes into Aquarius. Because see, last year it went into Aquarius from what? January to July or something. I don't know. I forget. But the proof of Pluto going into Aquarius last year, it went in, it came back out, was the rise in artificial intelligence. It made more of an advancement during Pluto going into Aquarius than at any other time. And it's giving you a picture of what's coming to pass. In our reality, an increase in artificial technology and medicine, disease, this type of thing. That's the significance of the time we're getting ready to come into. Faithists will realize the creator in a different way, communication-wise. So let me share what I got here real quick. It says, what are the key features that differentiate the KOSMAN era from previous spiritual periods in human history? So it says, the KOSMAN era is characterized by several key features that distinguish it from previous spiritual periods in human history. One is integration of earthly and spiritual wisdom. The Cosman era represents a time when earthly knowledge merges with spiritual wisdom. As stated in the document, it is a period in which man shall combine the wisdom of earth knowledge and the wisdom of spirit knowledge. I wish I had an example to give to you. I don't have one. If you brother could think of one, put it in the chat. An example of combined wisdom of the earth and the wisdom of spirit knowledge. How do you like that? Let me see. It gave me a reference here. Let me see if I can dig it up and find what the reference. It gave me a reference. Does it represent, does it mean a time when Baptists will be anointed with power from on high? Let's see what the reference is. Okay, so in the book of knowledge, and I don't have this on screen, 37,390. So let's read that together. This was a footnote that it gave to us to learn about what the Cosman era will be like. Trying to get it up, bring it up. 37,390. About what the Cosman era will be like. What definition, a description of it. One of the descriptions of it. Oh, let's see if I can find it. Okay. So here it is right here. Okay. So it's talking about, I haven't put it up on the screen yet. It says, Jehovah gives to, let me start verse 89. Let me start verse 88. It says, remember that in this day, Cosman is bestowed on the earth. That is the era in which man shall combine the wisdom of earth knowledge with the wisdom of spirit knowledge, the light of the hermit and recluse with the light of the city, the learning of the books of old with the spirit of making books of his own, meaning that faith is going to be inspired to write books. Verse 88 says, heed my words. Jehovah gives to one the power to heal by means of the spirit. Lest such a person not fall back on spirit power alone, but diligently pursue all corporal knowledge of healing. This is cosmic. A new reality, brethren with different spiritual powers. Giving it to the world. Remember, Aquarius, water for the world. Brotherhood of man. Pluto is intensity, it's interest, it's energy, it's, you know, when Pluto goes in Aquarius, it says, Jehovah gives to another oratory and music by means of spirit power. The operative word is spirit power. Spirit power. Lest such a person not fall back on spirit alone, but also diligently pursue corporeal knowledge on oratory and music. This is Cosman. So, a characteristic of Cosman. Maybe some of you will be sent to heal, some of you sent to speak, some sent to dance, some sent to miracles. Means of the spirit. This is the Cosman era. This is how the Creator is going to use brethren. So let me go back to my room and read some more from the verse about what the KOSMAN era is. What is the characteristic of it? Personal responsibility and direct communication with the Creator. How do you like that? Can you believe that? Can you believe it? Direct communication with the Creator. Unlike prior eras where individuals were directed by external religious authorities, the KOSMAN era emphasizes individual freedom in spiritual practice. It heralds a time when man shall pray to me and speak to me in his own way, without following the dictates of priests or sacred books. So I can't emphasize enough that the Creator is ready to place us in a whole different reality. A whole different reality. Because we're so used to being told and dictated to by men, the kingdom of men, the Capricornian type system, power and authority, obey, authority, king, queen. Creator said he's ending that. He's ending that. The end of preaching and believing. See? Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is why people are going to be left behind. Because you're not able to move. You're so used to the way things have always been. Well, pastor said this, Bible study said that, and you don't know how to trust your own judgment, your own self. Creator said that his people will be able to do that. Creator said it's the end of preaching and believing. He said instead it promotes the KOSMAN era. It promotes knowing through personal experience and understanding. Joey says the time of preaching and believing is at an end. Man shall know by his own knowledge, his own empirical knowledge. He says something happened, it happens. Creator says that it's going to be that way because, number one, it's like breathing to the faithless. Natural. They believe it. The power that the Creator will give to that he will give to for the sake of testimony. Proactive spiritual growth. The KOSMAN era is proactive spiritual growth. It says the KOSMAN era encourages individuals to embrace the spiritual journey actively. Instead of waiting for divine intervention or guidance from saviors, individuals are invited to pursue good works and engage in acts of righteousness from an early age, aiming for both personal honor and collective glory. See, everywhere you look, man, the Creator is saying, change your mind, change your mind, change your mind from that negative self-serving to that positive, self-abnegating, sharing type of mind. The KOSMAN era is universal harmony, university of peoples, or unity of peoples. This era promotes a vision where all people from different backgrounds come together. Jehovah mentions that he does not come to an exclusive people, but to combinations of all peoples commingled together as one people. See, again, man, this one thing that the world is not used to. A paradigm shift, man. A total explosion. I hit the daggone mic. Doggone it. Elizabeth, thank you so much. How long have I been? When did it stop? Do you know? I hit the mic by accident. I thought I had it situated to where I could see if I hit it and, it turns red. Was it just a few seconds, or can you hear me now, first of all? Can anybody hear me? Type 1 if you can hear me. Can y'all hear me okay? I hit Anita. Okay, thanks. Good. Yeah, I got a little spot here on my mic. If I hit it, it'll cut me off. And I situated. Thanks, Elizabeth. I situated it now so I could see it while I'm talking. I wasn't paying attention. All right. So basically, brethren, the creator, he's just showing us we're going to be a different people. A different people. Again, I was listening to a video of a brother who was talking about Pluto going into Aquarius, and he looked at it from a totally personal standpoint, where he thought that it was going to be the flipping of the current situation, where instead of the black man being on the bottom, he was going to be on the top. And he didn't understand. He did not understand, man. See, that's the beast kingdom. That grip, man, is so tight that the beast kingdom has. And I know there are a lot of brethren like that brother I was listening to who have that perspective. You keep looking at your own fortune, how good it's going to be for you, and you're going to realize when the creator speaks of a change in the era, like we're coming up on, he means for the world. But we in a situation where people can only think like it's for myself. What's going to, what's going to happen to me, for me? And that's why, even right now, man, nobody knows about the children in the KOSMAN era. Creator is working with us. Remember Jehovah's Kingdom? He said, don't deal with the adults, get me the children. And a lot of us, we weren't even around. Actually, man, now I've got a stuffy nose. None of us were around when the OAHSPE, when it came out. And so it's the children now that's bringing these things out. We just don't know how long before the manifestation of things where we can see it and say, and get excited, or the Creator has given us the power to make a chair sing and dance. Hey, he said it. That's what we're looking at. See, we tend to think like, 100, 200 years away, and we always think far, 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 far away. We don't know. I mean, Creator, he can come upon us suddenly, that very same day when Pluto goes back into Aquarius. He could come upon the faith suddenly. One thing is for sure, the world is going to be caught off guard. See, remember how things are born in the darkness? The Creator, he decreed that birth happens in the dark. When nobody else is, it happens subtly, unknowingly, I love to give that story. Y'all remember the story? I love to give that story about how the Creator, how I picture him, how he can come upon you suddenly, man. I mean, without, okay, I remember I was in junior high, right? And went to school opened up, and then a week later, all the guys were wearing black and white jerseys. And all the guys who weren't felt like heels, felt weak. It was the football team. See? It was the football team wearing their jerseys telling you they had a game that night. And the guys who weren't wearing them felt pretty low. You know what I mean? They felt weak. See? They didn't know, the guys who didn't have those jerseys like me, that they had been practicing all summer. See, it's the same way with faith, man, brethren, and there we got brethren in our nation who've been laboring in obscurity for years. Laboring in obscurity for years, man, waiting for game day to put on that jersey. Because now I say it like that, like not to look down on the world, but I seem to read, when I read the OAHSPE, that the Creator, he calls us brides and bridegrooms. Now, I think that it applies more when you're born in the Spirit and you're elevating, you're in the second resurrection, third resurrection, you make it to the third resurrection, and then you're waiting to go to the etheria, they're waiting for the next harvest to go to etheria, and you're bride and bridegroom. And from what I read, the Creator is going to show the bride and the bridegroom to the world. They're going to be shown. Now, I don't think I'm wrong, man. If you look at the world, they the same way, man. Ain't they the same way? Marriage, it's a big affair. The woman, the bride, it's her day. And she is going to make use of every second of that day. She's glorified that day. See, I'm just trying to say, you tell me the Creator won't do the same thing for his children? Have you ever heard a parent talk about their children? Now I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something from when I was in the world that women used to do without fail. I'm going to say something. You meet them wherever you meet them, and immediately they tell you about their children. And you can't blame them because they love their children. And the world, they know that that's taboo. At least women know that it's got a stigma on it. When you're trying to get a guy and you come out talking about your children, a lot of guys won't tell you that, hey, some guys get a kick out of it. They love children just as much as you do. But from my experience, most of the guys I've known, they won't go, they don't want to hear nothing about no future possible responsibilities. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm just telling you the truth, man. I'm telling you the truth in their heart because I've seen how they talk. I've witnessed their reactions, you know, and that's just something the sister can't help, man. You know, fathers do it too. They immediately talk about their children, man. Why can't the creator do the same thing? See, brethren have been laboring for years. And you think the creator is not, I mean, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, you know. And the beauty of it is the whole world is going to love the bride, the bridegroom. Because their thing is going to, it's going to be to take what they have been given and to share it with the world. See, that's Aquarius, water for the world. But you look at the people on computer today, they equate everything personally. I mean, you know, everything they equate it as, what's a good word for selfishly? See, you don't know the creator, man. See, you look at it as a time where you're going to get some get back on the white man, you know. It's our time. It's our turn. You don't know the creator, man. Matter of fact, you're going to be the one that is left behind, and you're overstanding and you're elevating spiritually because you don't understand. You do not understand, man, that the period of time, faith is, we know we in the time. It's a one-shot deal. You in the flesh. You know that the creator has already told you, you're going to make yourself, remember? You're going to make yourself. Faith is know you're going to make yourself. You're going to make your own spirit. You're going to make your soul. You're going to make, remember? You know, never forget that beautiful woman, man. You know, she said, I'm your thoughts. Come with me. You are the part that goes down. I'm the part that goes up. See, the big picture that the world don't have, man. The big picture, man. And the creator, I mean, that's how he takes the world out of your heart. He take it out, man. He take it out, man. You know, he take it out, and you just dedicate yourself even more to attaining to his voice and what he's sharing with you, telling you, okay, this how you fulfill my will. Have this type of mind in you. You know, don't seek to always, you know, don't seek yourself, don't seek your own, seek to share and give, seek to serve. That's my kingdom. That's my kingdom right there. You know, most people can't walk, they can't get on that road because it takes too long. You know, you can't see the end, you know, and you see what you want now. It tastes good, you know, it looks good, it is good, it's right here, right now. I can, you know, take advantage of it right now. And so, you know, even though we live in a reality where most people, they wait, they plan all their life. They plan all their life for their personal, their temporary self. They plan all their life, you know, plan all their life for a few years of what they call freedom, you know, retirement. Will work 40, 45 years for 5 years of, you know, you retire, now you travel. It's a terrible shame when you think about it. And so you got to have a gift in order to walk after the creator. You got that. As simple as that, man. I don't want to sound proud and putting anybody down. The verse here, it says, remember that in this day, KOSMAN is bestowed on the earth. So what day is that? Well, it's already been in Capricorn, KOSMAN era. It started in the 40. It literally started 1849, right? Remember the Fox sisters, right? Right. And then we got the OAHSPE in the 1860s. So it's like the creator, he prepared us, now you're able to receive things of the spirit. He give you a book. Now you can read the libraries of heaven. You can read about things that it just resonate with your soul, See, KOSMAN has been bestowed on the earth. Me and KOSMAN now, I'm sorry, I'm going to keep on saying it. You brother know things the world don't know. They don't care. They can't hear you, it's terrible. You could talk to them. You could answer all their questions about spirituality, about esotericism, about questions about spirit born in the spirit and life after death, and the cycle of the earth, and all kinds of things. You brethren can answer them. You can answer the whole world, man. But the world has got apathy. It's apathetic. It's the most amazing thing, man. Apathy. No time for it. No time for your words and talking. But you remember that story in the Bible? The magician, I forget his name. He saw Peter and James, I think, do a wonder. He wanted to pay for it. Same way with the world, man. The same way with it's a terrible shame. It's a tragedy. Creator said, remember that in this day, KOSMAN is bestowed on the earth. That is the era which men shall combine the wisdom of earth knowledge and the wisdom of spirit knowledge, the light, the hermit, and recluse with the light. I think I read this. I'll read it again. No big deal. The learning of the books of old with the spirit of making books of his own. I like that part. The spirit of making books of his own. The spirit of making books of his own, man. The creator said that's going to be one of the fruits of the KOSMAN era for Vedas. And we got brethren who write books. We got them. I write books. I'll be finished with my 9th one probably before the end of the year. And when I read stuff like that, it just makes me shake my head. I don't push my books because I'm not a good writer. I don't recommend. I don't try to push them here on my channel. I don't try to sell them. But it is an accomplishment because the creator put it in my heart to do it. And I've never done anything close to that. Now he shows me, and now I can know why I was minded to do things like that. You can know it too, because you have probably taken a course you've never thought you would take. I mean, something you would say or do in this reality. It's the creator saying, I'm the one that did. I put the spirit in you that made you do this or that. The creator, see, he said we're going to come to a time people are going to be under the spirit of making books of their own, talking about the creator. See? So how you think I feel when I read stuff like that? It blows me away. He said, heed my words. Jehovah gives the one power to heal by means of the spirit. Let such a person not fall back on spirit power alone. So I did read this. He says, heed my words. Jehovah gives the one power to hear. Okay, so I read this too. What does it mean to be spiritually mature? I'm not going to read that. I think it was just a question. Sometimes I just sit down and ask AI questions. I've got the OAHSPE downloaded. I've made the OAHSPE a file. You have software programs out there. You just download them and upload the OAHSPE into the program. And, man, just have a ball. Just have a stinking ball, man. Ask about anything that comes into your mind. Ask anything, man. You have to watch AI. You got to watch it, man. Because it's wrong sometimes, too. But most of the time, the information is all good. And it's going to get better. It's going to get better. Creator said that more and more people are going to come into the faith. They were going to come into the OAHSPE. And so here, I just asked the question, what does it mean to mature spiritually? And then it said, to mature spiritually, according to OAHSPE, a practical guidebook in the spiritual life involves the development of one's spiritual self in a way that aligns with the Creator's intentions for human growth. Align yourself according to the way the Creator is telling you to do it. That's spiritual growth. The document outlines that maturity and spirituality occurs during a transformative era known as KOSMAN, where individuals are encouraged to focus on their spiritual aspects rather than merely their corporal existence. See, you see where the world is? That's where the world is. Focusing, you see, you focusing, and I don't want to come down on you, man. You know, the Creator is telling us these things so that you, brethren, you could learn a lesson, man. You know, you could learn a lesson, man, you know, about the vibration that's in the world. Me. I want to glorify myself. What's in it for me? I was the one who came up with it first. I'm the only one who knows this. I'm the only one who, you know, this or that, you know what I mean? Et cetera, et cetera. It's a strong spirit in the world, man, you know, of your corporal experience over your spirit. See, the spirit says, you. Like, I'm created to try to encourage, and you're created for me. See, we're created to be, you know, a blessing to each other. You know what I mean? As simple as that, man. You know, spiritual maturity encompasses the civilization of inner virtues, the cultivation, of inner virtues such as wisdom, truth, virtue, benevolence, and a deepened relationship with the Creator. See, you're only as good as how you deal with people. See, something's coming into my mind now. If you're rotten dealing with people, if you got a track record of people you've dealt with and they're negative, they're down on you, I'm telling you, brother, you got problems, man. You know, you got problems. You got problems. The Apocrypha says there's a man that teaches many, but he is unprofitable to himself. There is a man that teacheth many, but he is unprofitable to himself. Ecclesiastes doesn't say. 37:19. See, that's where you missed the boat. You missed the boat, man, because you were busy being glorified and honored for your great wisdom and knowledge. But it wasn't profitable, man, because just like that verse in the Bible, remember? Your fruit, it made people bleed to obtain it. You know, you went to pick it. There you are, a grape on the grapevine. You know, you go to pick the grape and you get pricked by one of the thorns so that nobody comes your way again to get any more fruit. Do men pick grapes from thorns or figs from thistles? So the Creator, he said, hey, you know, your spiritual elevation is more important. And that deals with how you deal with people. It's more important how you deal with people. You know, that's important to the Creator. Because then you deal with people in that type of tender, that type of gentle type of way, and you show them you're on their side, you're for them, you want to encourage them, lift them up, you know, have fellowship with them, you know. You draw more, what did the sister say? You know, bees with honey, you know. And that's the will of the Creator. Draw men for the sake of their maturity and elevation. And that's how the kingdom is delivered up to the creator. Like it says in Revelation at the end, it's talking about Jesus Christ, but I'm translating it. The big deal, the big purpose, man, of our reality. That's all our reality is, man. That's all it is. Redeem the time, brethren. Just redeem it, man. And behold the Uzzians. Behold, I'm telling you, man, behold the Uzzians who feed off of negative. They feed off of it. They feed, it's a terrible. You feed off, you get a kick out of being able to see somebody's downfall. You get a kick out of that, man. It make you feel good. That's not a faithist, man. It says, it is emphasized that one's spirit grows through practice of these qualities, suggesting that spiritual development is an active process, not merely a passive belief or act of worship. Furthermore, the text highlights that while it is essential to engage with the corporal, material world, true fulfillment and understanding come from developing the spiritual aspect. This dual maturation leads to a balance where both corporal and spiritual qualities can coexist as a unified whole. Additionally, spiritual growth is seen as an individual responsibility, where one must strive to purify their thoughts and actions, contributing to the collective well-being of humanity. Acts of righteousness and good works are integral to this development, indicating that maturity is reflected not only in personal accomplishments, but also in the service to others. See, we all want the best for ourselves, man, And if you're paying attention to your life, those little bouts of heaven that come every now and then, or should come, it should bless those little, it's like deja vu for the faithless. Faith, glory, eternity, blessing, those little bouts that happen in life where you just feel like you in heaven. It's meant to get us to pay attention, be sensitive spiritually to what we're called to do. While not forsake, you don't have to forsake the corporal, but the Creator is showing us the balance that He wants us to have, because when we're born in spirit, then we want to have that balance between spirit and body and flesh. Exactly how it benefits, I don't know, but it does. Ultimately, spiritual maturity involves progressing to a state where one's understanding of their purpose in the universe is clear, leading to a harmonious existence with divine principles. See, time for the end of the video. So I'm gonna just buzz through the other verses that I had picked out for the KOSMAN era. What can faithists look forward to in the KOSMAN? What do faithists have to look forward to according to the OAHSPE Practical Guidebook? You can see where sometimes you want to know what's ahead of you, Moreover, the faithists are depicted as a chosen people who unite in brotherhoods, dedicating themselves to doing good for others. This selflessness is not only a path to personal spiritual growth, but also a means to bring about harmony and collective glory for the greater good of humanity. The OAHSPE asserts that while subjective spiritualists may pursue worldly gains for self-interest, now let me stop for a second. Subjective spiritualists, I didn't know who they were until I came into the OAHSPE. Man, this world, is full of subjective. They put their own mind into what they think is true. They just add their own understanding. This is so big in the world, subjective spiritualism, where you just say any old thing and people around you will agree because they can't prove it wrong. And you know that, you know, um, people, you know, don't really use discernment. When people talk to each other, they just talk without any, they just don't have no filters. It's just everything is received. You see that a lot on YouTube. One thing I noticed that as a faithist now, you know how to put on filters. When I look at spiritual videos, now you know how to put on some serious filters. It says faith is focused on the Spirit's sake and act in accordance with the Creator's will. This distinction places faithists in a position of spiritual ascendance and a central role in the Creator's kingdom. Thus, faithists have much to look forward to in terms of cultivating a harmonious and righteous existence, contributing to a collective rise in wisdom and purity, ultimately realizing a vision of peace and fulfillment on earth. And so a footnote that or something else that I added to the comment section. It says 2 conditions. Okay, so I'm sure you brethren read this a million times. 2 conditions will manifest subjective spiritualists will affiliate with the world's people. And it says they are deniers of the ever-present person. And they will pursue earthly vocations for self's sake. But objective spiritualists being those who live for the Spirit's sake. That means that they're not as nebulous as subjective spirits. They have a purpose in mind. They have a direction. They have a concrete idea. Those are objective spirituals. Remember, Elizabeth gave a good example of subjectivism, like different color M&Ms. Whatever you choose is subjective. You chose it for one reason or the other. Objective is you have a goal in mind. It's more concrete. It's more factual, so to speak. It says, but objective spiritualists being close to those who live for the Spirit's sakes will be faithists. Believers in the ever-present person, Jehovah, whom they will worship not only in words, but by abjuring self, uniting themselves in brotherhoods, for the sake of doing good to others. These latter are the chosen people of the Father of the cosmic era, and they will become supreme in all the world. How'd you like that? See? Again, man, the world, they work all their life for 4 or 5 years of, spending money, traveling. And ain't it a terrible thing? It's a terrible thing. That's all this world, our reality offers us. That's all it offers us. It's a terrible shame, man. I had more, but it's time for the end of the reading of the word. And so here's a good one to end it on. He sent his word and healed them. Bible. Delivered them from their destructions. That's the beast kingdom. See? Faithists are the only people in the world who have something to look forward to. It should make enduring. Well, enduring is not always easy, but we have, it's like the world, we have what they really, really want. And that is to be able to lay down at night and you could think about the glory to come, the blessing to come. You could think about the promises of the Creator. And it applies to you. See? It applies to you. And it bless your soul. It bless your soul, man. You tell a kid he's going to an amusement park 2 weeks from now, that's like sentencing him to the electric chair in the sense that he won't be able to sit still. He'll be fit to be tied, man, because he's got something that he looks forward to that's driving him crazy, kind of the same way for Faithus, our situation, but it's bittersweet because the Creator word is so clear. You can see people who are missing the boat. You flat out missing the boat, man. You know, I know you're a good dude, good woman. You flat out missing the boat, man. The Creator, his word, don't play games with it, man. If he says you're going to end up in the first resurrection with your idol, with your beast, you better believe him. And it's a place you don't want to be. I mean, well, shoot, man. That's the best I can do for right now. That's the time for the end of the reading of the word, brethren. So, Creator, wow, thank you showing us the KOSMAN era. What we have something we can look forward to. You telling us that you're going to swing Aquarius back into Pluto on the 19th of November. We don't know what can come to pass, but we know that it'll be global, and you are going to change people's minds on a level we never seen before. Our minds, our situation, our reality is going to change. Pluto going into Aquarius happens only once every 250 years. You say revolutions follow. We look back, we see the industrial, we see the French Revolution, and it changed the world for that time. So we're in a time now where it's the end of the false gods and the end of their kingdom. You said that you're going to do away with them. You got us over here in America now, in Guatemala. You said that was going to be the launching pad for the Faithus. So we're here, we're settled. You say that you were going to start with the children. You raised up the children now. The children, the modern day children, we're sharing your light. So, Creator, I hope that you remember these things when you think on this, for that you bless us with protection, with assurance, bless us with love, and bless us with peace and righteousness and patience. We need a lot of patience because we see the world as, and like you said in your word, only rogues are going to inherit our great offices, and we see it. You said it, which it points to a your word, it points to a declining society because of our leaders and how they were going to be rogues. And it's a very, very uncomfortable thing to see, to know that is your mind on our system today. But thank you, Creator, in your name. All right, brethren. So that's it. I don't think anybody wants to come on, but I put the link in the room anyway. I could be wrong. So we put the link in the room. I hang out for a couple of minutes and see if anybody wants to come in and say anything. So there's a link in the room, brethren. I'll be doing the King series tomorrow on Tuesdays. I want to do a King series where we look at a king or a god and see what we could learn about how they helped us and their role and mission in the red star, which is the earth, what they had come to do, how they did it, how they affected the lives of the mortals on the earth at that time. So that's on tap for tomorrow and Wednesday, of course, Bible study, no video. So, brethren, again, if someone wants to come on, just click on the link. I'll bring you on. You can say whatever you want. But if not, then shoot, I guess good time. Go ahead and close the video. So, going once, going twice, going 3 times, no takers. No one wants to come on. All right. Good enough, brethren. Thank you for joining me. Appreciate you. Pray to Creator that He protect us from the times to come on the earth, that we can endure the things that are coming on the earth. Creator will enlighten us even further as we are in this time of aging. We are in this time of aging where it means, and with Pluto going into Aquarius, that means revolution, which more likely means war. So, brethren, thank you for joining me. And until I see you again on video, the Creator willing, then peace, blessing, wisdom, thanksgiving, knowledge, understanding, and whatever else is good and holy and righteous be to you. So thank you. And until I see you again on video, peace be unto you. Shalom.